Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Empowering Industry Podcast. I'm your host, Charlie Matthews, and I'm excited about being back on the mic. I love traveling. I love, being able to meet new people and all, but I also like to get on the mic and just get to know some people and share them with you. So today we're going to do that with Charles Sharp. I'm really excited about getting to know him and what he's doing there and has done with Regal Rexnord. And so, Charles, will you jump in and introduce yourself?
Absolutely. Again, Charles Sharp. I'm with Regal Rexnord. I've been with the company a little over 41 years now. So I've done just about every role since being at the company, from starting in maintenance up through machining and various management and engineering roles, and moved over to application engineering. I'm going to say roughly 10 years ago because I was asked if I would be willing to go over and try to help spend a little bit of time in that group and try to improve some things. So it's
Yeah,
been a good fit. So I've sort of hung out here for a while.
wonderful. Yeah, I was going to ask kind of what your interest was. So kind of getting in there, turning wrenches and that kind of thing at the beginning.
Originally, that was a lot of it. And then I quickly realized or got invited to move into programming when I reprogrammed some of their machine tools one night when they needed rush stuff, and went from there up into programming engineering and moved around, was doing a lot of tooling, fixture design work, and did some training when we moved facilities from Pennsylvania to Alabama, and went from different roles through those aspects and up into quality and quality management, and then decided to give applications a run for a while. So
Yeah, I love that application engineering because you've got the knowledge of the products and kind of that it's like a technical knowledge, but also a customer service element of that, right?
absolutely, to me, that feels like the best place I could be a benefit to our customers at this time. So be able to share as much as I can and try to simplify things as much as possible for them.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the company itself and what you do there, kind of products, services. What do they have to offer?
Primarily, I work in the disc coupling product line, but the company offers basically everything related to power transmission products, from gearing and gearboxes up through drive chain conveyors, through various different assortments of drive couplings, whether it's gear couplings, grid couplings, disc style, elastomeric style, up into high performance diaphragm style couplings. And we've got bearing services in our industry. It's pretty much anything that you can find in the power transmission gamut. We have a product or a division that covers it.
Well, I remember interviewing someone earlier, kind of like on everything you need to know about couplings. And I just thought that was so wild that it did so well because people are interested in couplings and the right one. So I think that that's amazing just in our industry that, you know, piece of the chain, if you will, is so important. So tell me why you stayed in couplings because you've been there like 10 years plus, a decade living in couplings.
It's one of those that I feel like there's still some advancements that we can make. So until it gets to the point that I don't feel I'm advancing or improving anything, I'm going to try to hang out here. So we do everything from the gas compression market, which, I mean, now I know we're talking more about pumps here, but we'll do everything from the large recip gas compressors up into and including pumps and transfer units into nuclear power stations. So from one day to the next, we don't know whether it's a paper mill we're helping or a nuclear power plant. So it just keeps it more fun and exciting.
Absolutely. What challenge will we help with today, right?
Absolutely.
Well, okay. So when you are out kind of, there's so many different applications. Do you have kind of one that's your favorite to work on or to quote for?
I actually like the gas compression industry because it's a little bit more uh, technologically advanced. And I've actually spent time doing a lot of engineering tools for our internal engineering teams so that we can simplify and speed those processes up between selection and detailing. And I've done the same for the pump industry, but they're not quite as complicated or advanced. So they're
Yeah, I was
typically
talking with
keyed shafts.
Yeah, I was talking with like the refinery, and it's amazing to see the difference in the pieces of equipment, right? It's a little more challenging on the compressor side than the pump side, for example, but both are necessary within the plant.
Absolutely. I mean, when you walk through a refinery and you'll find 5 to 7,000 pumps, it's like, yeah, they really can't be ignored. They have to be taken care of and addressed. Otherwise, you'll put the refinery down. So
Okay, so throughout your career, how do you stay just motivated and inspired to move forward in your industry?
I think it's as much just with this many decades, it's more family history than anything. So it's just like coming up every day and just spend the day working with your family and continue trying to improve things. And I've seen enough changes over the decades with the company that it's ever evolving. So it ever keeps your interest going because every year or two we make another big change and redevelop things, which starts the learning curve all over again.
Yeah. Okay. So when I think about this, and I do want to do a little rapid fire with you, just so people can get to know you a little bit better. What is your favorite book?
To be honest with you, I haven't really taken time to read one in a while. It probably will go back to some of the science fiction, some of the Dean's Koontz theories, because that's typically what I've read when I've done more. Nobody would like my current books. I spend more time reading Excel and Visual Basic manuals because I do so much programming work. And it's like, yeah, it's sort of stoic and dry, but if you need a way to go to sleep at night, it's a good thing to pick up.
Absolutely. And learn a little something along the way.
Absolutely.
What about music? You got a favorite tune?
Country music is what I grew up with. So country to bluegrass is probably what I listen to the most with some of the throw-ins of the 80s stuff.
Mhm.
So recently I've gotten a couple of friends have got me listening to the Dead South. So it's sort of a mix of new age music and bluegrass. So it's more interesting and upbeat.
Awesome. I love it. Okay. Now, these are the hard ones, I think. What is the best advice that you've ever received?
Don't ever compromise your own ethics and morals is probably the best. And that's one I've tried to live by my entire life. Because if I don't feel like it's the right thing to do or say, nobody's going to convince me to do so otherwise.
I love that. I think we all can take that one in. What about somebody coming into the industry? What advice would you give them?
Read and learn as much as you can. Don't try to react like you already know everything. We'll see that a lot with a lot of people coming into the industry that just come out of school. They assume they understand everything. Within the first week, they're going to run into something that school did not prepare them for. So keep your eyes open and pay attention to what you see in the industry because you're going to run into something that's different than anything you'd ever studied.
Okay. Now, not your current role, okay, but I am just so curious because you've done so many different tasks there at the company. What role was your favorite outside of what you're doing now? Which one did you love?
Programming engineering. I actually enjoyed that because I was doing most of the machine tool programming. So we took it to the point at that point in our careers where we were trying to do basically artificial intelligence machining. So we were writing programming to allow the machine tools to develop their own programming for our parts. So instead of having 30,000 part programs to machine our couplings, you could run basically everything on a half a dozen programs just by the operator entering some prompts and inputs in the beginning.
Yeah, and so for everybody that thinks AI is new, it is not. We've been doing that, right? In
We
programming
just,
machinery.
yep, we just didn't call it that.
Exactly, exactly right. Well, Charles, it's been great to talk to you and kind of get to know you a little bit better. Is there anything else that you wanted to leave our audience with?
Nothing really I can think of other than if there's anything we can do, just don't hesitate to reach out through whatever distribution branch or whatever contact works for them, and we'll do everything we can for them.
Wonderful. And we'll put some of that in the show notes. Thanks for being inspiring and just thinking about the journey of someone coming into a company and staying there for 40 years. I love that. And looking forward to just seeing what else y'all do next.
Absolutely, it's a ever changing environment, and it keeps it interesting.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, everybody, share this episode, like, subscribe, do all that great stuff. And until next time, be empowering.
Thank you, Miss Charlie.